Good afternoon. It is Monday, November 18th. Welcome to Panther News Network. I'm Gabby Handcock.
And I'm Kazadi Evans, and here's your news for today.
This past week, parts of New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, and Massachusetts residents had to recently evacuate their homes after being at a high risk of wildfire spread. Voluntary evacuations over the weekend of the town Warwick and Wattawa Park in Greenwood Lake, New York, helped firefighters tackle the Jennings Creek wildfire and helped protect at least 165 homes. Those evacuations are still currently staying in place and have been extended in Orange County until further notice. In Connecticut, there's an elevated risk of wildfire spread in Fairfield, New Haven, Middlesex, and New London, and a risk of elevated fire weather concerns in Litchfield. Massachusetts, there are elevated fire weather concerns across a slew of countries, including the Boston and Cambridge areas, due to the prolonged dry weather and minimum relative humidity combined with dry fallen leaves. And in New Jersey, Connecticut, and Massachusetts, burning is strongly discouraged. There was a recent wildfire at Jennings Creek, which burned down more than 5,300 acres and was 88% contained on Sunday evening. The same fire has also burned more than 2,280 acres in Passaic County, New Jersey, and is 90% contained. Thankfully, up to half an inch of rain will be possible in the Northeast on Thursday and Friday. New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy issued a drought warning following the recent change in the weather, so hopefully the Northeast does receive the rainfall they need.
There has been yet another gun-related incident with a plane. The cockpit of Southwest Airlines plane was hit by a bullet at Dallas Love Field on Friday night. A Southwest spokesperson said the plane was hit while preparing for departure to Indianapolis. No injuries were reported. The spokesperson said, "One bullet went through the cockpit. Police believe the shooting was a resultant of random gunfire." Southwest Airlines released the following statement on the incident, saying, "Southwest Airlines Flight 2494 taxied safely back to terminal at Dallas Love Field after a bullet apparently struck the right side of the aircraft. Just under the flight, the deck while the crew was preparing for departure for Indianapolis. No injuries were reported. Southwest will accommodate our customers on another flight." Law enforcement authorities has been notified and the plane was removed from service.
During this 2024 election season, Prairie View A&M University was a main hub for being a major source of information and commentary. Faculty and students were providing insightful analysis from the perspective of a historically black college and university. Dr. William Holston, who is a respected voice in the political science part of Brailsford College of the Arts and Sciences, sat down with ABC 13's Rosie Nguyen, where they discussed all the criticalness of getting young voters and shifting the political preferences among black voters. Dr. Baquita Pegram, Lecturer 1 History, provided compelling commentary on the continuous history of voting at Prairie View A&M. Dr. Melanie Price, and prominent endowed professor of political science and the director of the Ruth J. Simmons Center for Race and Justice, was providing morning coverage on KPRC2, followed by Dr. Tiffany Thomas, a PVAMU alumna, program coordinator, and assistant professor of community development in the School of Architecture. She offered her analysis and expertise on the election. With this increase of media presence, it's a testament to PV's reputation for touching on current events today. This is Panther News Network. We'll be right back with you guys after this commercial break. Thank you guys for staying with us. Here's your remaining news for the day. In recent HBCU news, Lil Jay Sean, who is a Texas Southern University student, has recently stepped into the limelight by competing in Netflix music competition Rhythm and Flow. He found his voice during his teenage years by freestyling over garage band beats. After losing his older brother, Dougie, he started taking his hobby more serious. His words in memory of his older brother pushed him to keep going. He shared that he would tell me to keep going. "Bro, your music is so hard." So when he passed away in a motorcycle accident, his words stuck with me, and I never gave up. By being an HBCU student, uses that culture he's around to be embedded and persuade him in his music. I wanted to be transparent about who I actually am, a young black male that loves to learn, that loves to read, loves to take care of my body, and pays attention to what I'm eating, he says. Competing has, of course, not been without challenges, but going through these hurdles opens up opportunities for growth. Being on this show helps him convey his message, not to just the HBCU community, but even with his lyrics where he wants that to resonate with those in the community, outside of the community. As he continues his journey on rhythm and flow, this TSU student aims for musical success and strives to uplift and educate others in the industry.
Police have arrested 42-year-old Akeem Booth in a connection with a fatal shooting that took place Saturday, November 16th, at a local apartment complex in Houston. Booth is facing murder charges after being taken into custody at the scene of the crime, which occurred around 6:30 p.m. on Saturday at 5610 Royal Palm Street. He was later charged in the 262nd District Court. According to the Houston Police Department, authorities arrived at the apartment complex following reports of a shooting and discovered a 37-year-old man who had suffered a gunshot wound. Despite effort by emergency service, the man was pronounced dead at the scene. The identity of the victim is awaiting confirmation by the Harris County Institution of Forensic Science. Detective from the HPD Homicide Division, G. Rangold, and H. Montelegre indicated that prior to the shooting, witnesses observed the victim in a verbal dispute with another man. The conflict escalated when the man identified as Booth reportedly went to his apartment, returned with a firearm. The shooting of the victim's staircase of the building after discussions with the Harris County District Attorney's Office. Booth was charged as he is currently being held in Harris County Jail. An officially booking photo of Booth has been released with the news statement. The HPD has not disclosed further details as the investigation is still ongoing. And authorities are likely to continue their appeal for any additional witness to come forward.
Beyonce and Netflix recently announced that she'll be performing on the Texans field and in your very own living room Christmas Day. It was announced by Netflix late Sunday that Beyonce will be performing during the halftime on Christmas Day matchup versus Texans and the Baltimore Ravens. The streaming service didn't reveal details about the performance, but teased that it would likely feature the guest appearances from her Cowboy Carter album. This year, Netflix is streaming 2 NFL games on Christmas. It's going to be kicking off with the Kansas City Chiefs against the Steelers. It's in speculation that Taylor Swift could be lined up to perform at their halftime game, meaning 2 of the world's biggest superstars would be a part of these events.
As many of you have seen, on Friday night, the heavily anticipated boxing match between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul aired live on Netflix. There were streaming from the home of Dallas Cowboys at the AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Paul won an 8-round unanimous decision over Tyson as the hits didn't match the hype in the fight between the 27-year-old YouTuber turned boxer and the former heavyweight champion in his first sanctioned pro bout in almost 20 years. According to the reports, Paul's payday was $40 million compared with $20 million for Tyson. Paul mentioned his numbers during a promotional event over the summer. It was a sight to see Friday night. If you missed the fight live, then you can still watch it. It is still available to watch on Netflix.
That concludes our show this afternoon. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at KPVU-TV. That concludes Panther News Network. I'm Gabby Handcock.
And I'm Kazadi Evans. Have a nice day.